This wild and wonderful book is called GIA and the $100 worth of bubblegum. It's written and illustrated by Frank Asch. There are 6 characters in this book. This one is GIA. These are her friends. There's a dog, and there's a seagull. So we already know that the name of the book is GIA and the $100 worth of bubblegum by Frank Asch. There's a slight mystery. This is based on a story by Crescent Giasulo. Says the same thing here. We'll come back to that. And it's dedicated to GIA. One day, GIA and her friends were on their way to the circus when they found an old dog with a hurt paw. "Go on without me," said GIA. "I'll stay with this poor old dog." Ever so carefully, GIA took the dog home and bandaged his paw. "Thanks," said the dog, and gave GIA $100. GIA took the money and thought. Then she went downtown and bought, from this shopkeeper, $100 worth of bubblegum. When GIA's friends got back from the circus, they all chewed and made lots of bubbles. Sticky bubbles. Very sticky bubbles. Suddenly, a gust of wind came along, and they all went flying high above the town until a very nearsighted seagull flew into the bubble. And they all began to tumble. As they fell, GIA picked the bubblegum from the seagull's feathers. "Thanks," said the seagull, and offered GIA a glorious ride. To which GIA said, "And what about my friends?" So the seagull gave a ride to her and her friends. A ride around the world. Here they are flying across the Atlantic Ocean. And dropped them off at the circus, just in time for the evening show. Can you see them sitting here on top of the circus tent? Where they had a wonderful time. The end. If you go to Frank Asch's website, frankasch.com, https, no www, if you go there, you'll find all kinds of interesting stuff. Pictures to look at, things to do, information for teachers, and even some information about Frank himself, who lives in Vermont. What you won't find is any information about who Crescent Giasulo was. But here are 2 things that you can find elsewhere. GIA Giasulo is the co-founder and creative director of the Brooklyn Pharmacy and Soda Fountain. It's in the Carroll Gardens neighborhood of Brooklyn. And she runs a little store for people to come in and enjoy soda fountain drinks. In her acknowledgments page of her book that she wrote about that soda fountain, called The Soda Fountain, Floats, Sundaes, Egg Creams, and More, Stories and Flavors, this is what GIA says. Crescenzo Giasulla, who showed us what it meant to be a shopkeeper. Crescenzo is the Italian form of the name Crescent. So I don't know for certain whether Frank Asch knew GIA, but I do know that there is a GIA whose father was Crescenzo Giasulla. Maybe you can find out. And that's the story that started with Crescent Giasulo, but Frank Asch called it GIA and the $100 worth of bubblegum.